Most dangerous female prisoners.
You! Everybody wanna know? Yes, I did kill her!
In Detroit, Michigan, Michelle Blair, a convicted killer, embodies a saying, "Hell has no fury like a woman is con." Facing eviction and refusing to seek employment, she took a darker path. When authorities arrived at her home, they discovered the bodies of Stephen and Stony Blair in a freezer, shocking even seasoned investigators and prompting apologies for the gruesome revelation, which it was there for 3 years. Michelle Blair, arrested and tried for murder, offered a shocking defense, claiming she was eliminating demons who had sexually abused her children. In court, this justification lacked substantiating evidence. Blair's demeanor remained remorseless, laying a nonchalant attitude that even led to interruption of the judge. The gruesome detail of the killings emerged, revealing acts of suffocation and skinning, painting a picture of horror and depravity. Blair's atrocities extended to forcing them to drink Windex and pouring boiling water on them. Blair was so bold that she admitted to the judge she would kill them again if given the chance. However, her sentencing to life in prison by the judge ensured she wouldn't have the opportunity.
Why did you take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other in a freezer?
What do you mean?
Why did you do that?
Well, I only had one deep freezer. I mean, take the decision to pile the bodies on top of each other. Where was she gonna go?
How did you conceivably sleep at night?
I slept well.
While Blair remained remorseless, Shina Huber, in contrast, displayed an unsettling hubris. A full-on psychopath, Shina Huber found herself on trial for the murder of her boyfriend, Ryan Poston. Apparently, the couple had been entangled in a toxically abusive relationship until Huber made the chilling decision to end things with the horrific murder of Poston. In a brave move, she even called the police to admit to her crime. Huber claimed self-defense against Poston's abuse during interrogations. Huber's behavior was deeply unsettling. She was observed walking around, singing, and engaging in conversations with herself, all while commending her acting skills. Throughout her trials, Huber persisted in claiming she murdered Poston in self-defense, alleging he was abusive towards her. Witnesses emerged against Huber, including her own former cellmate, casting doubt on her narrative. With evidence and witnesses against her, Huber was sentenced to 40 years in prison, with the possibility of parole after 34 years. However, the narrative took a Hollywood slight twist when it was revealed that the jury member turned out to be a felon himself. This revelation prompted a fresh review of the case. Despite the turn of events, Huber didn't escape severe punishment, still receiving a life sentence. It's tragic when murder emerges from love, but it's even more heart-wrenching when it stems from one's own family, as in the case of Sandra L in Detroit, Michigan. A 17-year-old found herself entangled in a dreadful situation. Jonathan Hoffman, her 75-year-old grandmother, welcomed her grandson into her home. Their peaceful coexistence shattered when an argument erupted over Jonathan's drug use, only for Sandra to suddenly put out a 9mm Glock and shot her grandson 6 times. Hoffman, in a desperate attempt to seek help, tried to call 911, but Sandra's fury was too overwhelming.
Okay, how did you get shot?
My grandma shot me.
Your grandma and grandpa shot you?
My grandma. I'm gonna die. Help.
In court, Sandra claimed it was self-defense, presenting two sides of the harrowing story. Some rallying behind Sandra while others, like her own daughter, branding her as nothing short of pure evil. Her daughter's were pierced deeply, bringing Lane to tears in the costume. Despite Lane's steadfast assertion of self-defense, the jury remained unconvinced. Sandra ultimately received the 20 to 40 years prison sentence, a hard judgment given her age. The complexities behind murder can lead case down unexpected and tumultuous path, echoing the unsettling tale of Shelby Isaac. Isaac found herself with the blood of 3 people on her hands over something at trial as hair extensions. When Isaac purchased hair extensions from Eddie Tate and Edwina Thomas and wanted to return them, she escalated her complaint to an insane degree. She resorted to shooting both Tate and then the pregnant Edwina, tragically killing her unborn child as well. Isaac nearly evaded severe consequences when her charges were initially dropped, only for them to be reinstated by a grand jury later on. Isaac found herself unable to comfort reality in court, collapsing onto the floor under the table. Though some suspected her behavior was a ruse, Isaac was ultimately sentenced to 30 years in prison for her crimes, where the comfort of the courtroom carpet would be exchanged for the cold reality of a prison cell floor. Some acts can be even worse than murder, as exemplified by Alison Weber in Oakland County, Michigan. Alison Weber, under the influence of drugs and alcohol, subjected a woman to sheer terror, introducing her to the horrors of cannibalism. After going home with Weber, the woman found herself in a nightmare. Marks of biting and strangulation marred her body, with her ear partially bitten off. The victim tearfully recounted the harrowing experience of being sexually assaulted by Weber. She mourned, regretting ever allowing Weber into her home.
My life changed forever. I let Alison Thompson Weaver in my home, and in return, she tried to kill me.
Despite Weber's apology, nothing could mend the psychological damage and trauma inflicted. Even the judge acknowledged it as the most horrific case in her career.
But I've been up here for 25 years, and I've seen murder cases that were not nearly as violent as this case.
The sentence handed to Weaver, merely 10 to 15 years, fell far short of what many deemed appropriate for the heinous crimes committed. Although she now bears of the burden of being registered sex offenders, the world may breathe a sigh of relief knowing that these murders won't become parents.